What's the best way to operate as a new real estate agent? Today, I have the pleasure of presenting to you one of my podcasts that I did with Betty. She's been in the industry for about 10 months and her career is really taking off. I'm sure you'll find plenty of good tips and tricks in this interview. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me in studio. It's always good to get some perspective from people that are a bit newer in the industry. But you're no longer what I would call a new agent. You know, you've been in the industry since which month?
April 2020, I was registered.
So
on
that's
my license.
10 months.
10 months.
Wow,
Yeah.
time flies, eh?
It feels longer
Yeah.
because of how much has, you change and learn. It's wild.
You've been killing it though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a person that's kind of a never enough attitude. I could always be doing better. So this has really humbled me to, it's a slow process, the way I want to build my business, baby steps.
You're on track to hit your goal?
Yes. I had, my goal was to sell 8 homes in my first year.
Yeah.
Being the overachiever a bit, I wanted to get it in before 2022, but
Yeah.
deals don't always close when you want them to. But I'm on track to, I think I'll have 10 when I hit my 1 year.
You're like, the past week, we've been, doing a lot of communicating, you and I, but you're working on what, like 3 or 4 deals right now?
Yeah. Right now I'm working on 3 and then a listing that is due to go firm next week. So I guess 4 deals.
Things are really starting to take off.
Yeah. And the best advice, I believe it came from you. When you're first starting out, you think everyone you know is going to call you. I want to sell my house. I want to buy a house. You're an agent, Betty. I love you. I want to use you. And that's not the case. And the best thing you had said was, if you have a friend that's a plumber and that's been your plumber for 10 years, and then your other best friend becomes a plumber, it's going to take some time for your brain to register them as that person.
Yeah.
So many people said, but give it a year.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing, and then in about a year, people will start to associate you with real estate.
Yeah.
Make sure you're communicating that. I'm not someone that says, use me. I want to be your realtor. I more just kind of promote realtors in general. And if you think I'm the right personality type for you and share the same values as you, then choose me. But I think it's not a quick fix when you become a realtor.
It's such it's such a competitive space, and to say to your followers, let's say on your social media or people you interact with, use me as your realtor, it comes off a bit as pushy, and it might push people way away from you. Like, I've been, super grateful to have the chance to coach a lot of new agents over the years, and I always say, try to be number 1 in about 100 people's headspace for the real estate category, and you'll win. Because if we look at other companies like Coca-Cola or Apple, like, they spend so much money just to occupy that number 1 spot. For Coke, you think of Coca-Cola. If you're thinking of a phone, you're thinking of the iPhone. Your job as a real estate agent is to win in, a limited amount of people's headspace. You're not trying to be number 1 for 1 million people throughout the entire city. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of new agents think. They think they have to be number 1 for everybody. No. Pick your favorite people, educate them on the real estate market, and you've been doing a good job. I saw your Instagram account. You're busy at uploading new content.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So I think that in real estate or anything, if you don't take an avenue you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
If you feel awkward on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok and it makes you cringe, then don't do it, because that's going to come through. If you're genuinely enjoying something and having fun, which, I did a lot of improv when I was in high school, and I've always been a bit of a theatrical person.
Yeah.
So with real estate, I really kind of found my niche and a focus to use my Instagram to do that. But I keep it pretty light. I keep it pretty fun. I don't just talk about real estate, because at the end of the day, I'm not just a real estate agent. I'm a mom. I was a restaurant owner. I'm many things. So when people come to my page, I want it to be a place where they can maybe learn something, have a laugh, and get to know me.
Yeah. Let's talk about the restaurant industry. Were your thoughts of going into the real estate world, or were you thinking you'd be in the restaurant industry
Oh, I
forever.
never had a thought about being a real estate agent.
No, eh?
So it's funny, I had a conversation with a staff member of mine from my husband and I's restaurant that we had, said I would never become a real estate agent.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of that comes from just, I was a restaurant owner.
Yeah.
Why would I get out of, I own a restaurant. You're
Yeah.
tied to it. You're there 24/7. You live, breathe, eat it. Why would I think I would be anything else?
Yeah.
So the pandemic changed that,
Yeah.
and then changed my view on what the next 15 to 20 years look like, not
Yeah.
being a restaurant owner.
Are you enjoying real estate?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say the beginning is very high-low. You know, you're watching your peers succeed. You might be seeing newer agents do better than you. I didn't join a team, that team aspect. So at first I would think, oh, I'm not very busy. You know, I'm seeing these other people I know that are on teams and they're selling and buying so many homes, which is great. And I'm so supportive of it. And I'm so happy for them. But that's a different dynamic to be on a team, where I was very intrigued with EXP and this business model of creating my own business.
Yeah.
I don't have to hold inventory. I don't have to hire a bunch of staff.
Yeah.
I don't have to have a brick and mortar. I can truly run this business as I see it, with the support of my peers.
Yeah, it's plug and play. That's why I love this brokerage. It's not a EXP pitch, but
No, but it is
it's
what
like opening up your own brokerage within a brokerage, because
And-
you've got access to all the tools and it's your own company.
and I don't really, if people ask me, I'm here to talk about it. I was an agent that, the other agent that bought my listing, we were talking about it. A bunch of his colleagues had switched over to EXP.
Yeah.
I'm in this because I lost a brick and mortar business
Yeah.
through COVID, and I want to be self-sufficient. I don't want that ever to affect me again. I
Yeah.
want to be able to work when I want. A big part of being a real estate agent, I think, if you've never had your own business, you may struggle a bit because
Yeah.
it's on you to get leads, to follow up for referrals. You know, are you going to door knock, or are you just going to use other avenues to build that trust with people?
I mean, you need to be an entrepreneur to be a real estate agent. Unless you want to be on a team and, have leads be given to you. If
Yeah.
you're going to be a solo agent, you have to think for yourself. And you have to be willing to go through periods that aren't super easy. When you start out,
Yes, absolutely. It's like,
Be okay
roller
with-
coaster.
be okay with not being okay, and try different things. Let's talk about trying different things. Are there lead generation tactics that you tried out that didn't work out for you?
Yeah, I did some like door hangers
Yeah.
this summer. I can get uncomfortable as much as people watch my Instagram and think, oh, you're so confident. Of course, I feel very uncomfortable entering people's space like that,
Yeah.
like putting my face on their door. It felt very out of body experience for me. I didn't like the feeling.
Yeah.
I don't mind those hung on my door. So why am I feeling so
I know.
uncomfortable? So I figured my path wasn't that way, putting myself out there and selling myself as an agent. For me, I would rather have the people I know love me and trust me already to spread that word. So I've built trust now. I would say my referrals are coming from the listings I have sold.
Mhm.
And my friends that knew me as a business owner before, now seeing me succeed. So I'm seeing more family kind of get a hold of me now.
Yeah.
I'm getting more referrals because it really is just time. You got to stick to it.
Yes. A lot of new agents get disappointed when their family don't use them. Has that happened to you? No,
Yeah.
no specifics.
No. It's. I mean, I can tell you, and I was going through that at a time, and I remember I might have been on your podcast. You said it. You get over yourself.
Yeah.
Just because you're new at something doesn't. And I thought I probably wouldn't use my friend if they were a new agent either.
Yeah, there's a story I repeat quite often, and it's okay if I share it. But my mom, when I started, I love you, Mom. You're my biggest supporter now. But when I started, I still remember I had a restaurant also, nothing like yours, but a little food truck. I was 19, and I told my mom, I said, I think I'm going to become a real estate agent. Her words were, that's not going to work. And, it took a few years for her to start sending referrals my way. But just yesterday, she gave me 2 listing referrals. Like she's such a big supporter, but it took some time for her to get behind the idea of me as a real estate agent. So don't to the people watching, you know, if you've got friends and family that aren't using you right from the jump, just follow in Betty's footsteps. I mean, just be okay, you know, having your family and friends not use you right from the get-go. It's totally normal. On that subject, what is one piece of advice you would give to new agents?
Exactly that. You got to leave your ego aside.
Mm-hmm.
You're new. It's everything you learned in school doesn't really apply. You know, there's things I'll be like, oh, I learned about that in school, and I find myself Googling it or asking you or reaching out to peers, because it's when it's applied, it's a very different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a situation today with a purchase I just made, and the agent called me, and he's like in his 60s and just learned something new to it today. The 8-hour business day on the, you know, so we're always learning as agents, and we miss the fine print the odd time, or you send that offer and you forgot to fill something out or sign it, and you're beating yourself up about it. It happens to everybody. You know, the other agent on the other side is there to help. We're on the same team, and I think that's a little bit of a misconception. We're working together. So let's keep this cordial and friendly and pick our battles, as you said. So I just think you got to leave the ego at the door.
Yes, for sure. And sometimes new agents, they might watch too much TV.
Selling Sunset.
Or they watch Suits and they think that everybody on the other side of the transaction is going to be a shark. You know, that's not reality. People are there to broker deals. You know, we're salespeople, we're brokers. We're there to put the deal together. So what excites you about the future in the real estate world?
Just kind of the unknown. Like, just now that my real estate business is picking up, I think, you know, this is really happening. You see these agents. I'm never going to be the flashy agent, and which is fine. You know, I'm pretty humble, simple person. So my value will be, you know, property or a vacation home, maybe things on the surface you can't see I'd like to purchase. But when I see people running their own business and making this money and creating these relationships, and with ease. Like, you don't have to go find clients. And I'm kind of starting to experiencing that. And it's like, it's actually happening. Like, people are calling me. And the first experience with that was back in November, a random phone call. I picked it up and I was so confused. It was like 8:30 in the morning. And I was like, oh, wait, you're a stranger calling me to list your house because you saw my listing near the And I remember those are the things that, like, you'll get to as a new agent. It will happen. It's not the first 6 months you're going to think, oh no, it's not working. But you got to just keep every day, just keep pushing.
But it's not going to happen for everybody. You know, I don't want to put a too rosy picture out there.
Agree.
I've seen it so many times. The number one attribute for realtors is grit. It has to be persistence, you know, just not letting go of the idea of being successful. And you have to just keep on pushing, because newsflash, your first month in real estate, you're probably not going to sell 10 properties. You know, you're not going to be inundated with, like, people that want to list their house or buy a property with you. You just got to keep on pushing and try different things, you know, and see what works for you.
It's funny, the first month, and I didn't do this, and I'm fine now, but 1000% you told me, learn how to write deals. Practice writing deals. Just go on MLS, pick a place, because that is the most important thing, is to be able to look at all the documents properly. And if you're fumbling over your offers and that's slowing you down, so that's the biggest one.
Yeah, because I mean, just like any other trade, you know, if you're a carpenter and you've got your tool over there, which is the hammer, and you're looking for houses to frame, and you find one, and then you pick up your hammer for the first time, and you're sort of like got zero dexterity with it. You know, it's the same thing. The agreement of purchase and sale, the listing agreement, the buyer representation agreement, those are your hammers. They're your tools. Get familiar with them, you know, when you're starting out. I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know why I'm saying this to you. You know it.
Oh, I'm somebody that never wants to stop learning. I'm somebody that's a sponge. I'm not a know-it-all by any stretch, but still, like, I'm like, no, I just wish I would have done that sooner.
It's super important.
It is.
Get to know your tools.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the real estate market? Do you think this crazy low inventory seller's market is going to maintain itself for
the lockdowns are clearly, creating this.
Yeah.
What do people do when they want to list their house and they have 4 kids at home, dogs, and there's nowhere to even go?
Mm-hmm.
You can't even go to family's house. You can't even go to a restaurant. I think it's going to be a while until the government comes up with a long-term plan of staying open. But our inventory, people thought 2021 was low inventory. This is, and it's bizarre because you think, why are you so busy, Betty, when there's no inventory?
Yeah.
And I'm like, good question. I guess I just have, my clients right now are maybe exceptions to the rule. They're not first-time home buyers.
But you've been working in a higher price range, in the last few weeks. So there's a bit less activity in that price range, right? But man, it's crazy out there. I think inventory will probably go up within the next 6 months.
Yeah, if they can open up and come up with a long-term plan of reopening and people get confident in that, I agree. I think the spring, and especially what people are seeing now, everyone said last year more was going to come on the market. It didn't happen. People now are thinking spring is the right time to sell. And market, the crash, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the prices have adjusted.
No, yeah. I think we're going to see the craziness end at some point. I don't think we're heading for a crash. It's not in this market in Ottawa. Different markets might be doing different things, but the agents that have been taking really good care of buyer clients, and I know you have been doing that. I think those agents will really win once the inventory levels out, because I've seen too many of my colleagues not pay any attention to buyers right now because it's too complicated. I'll just lose in a bidding war. I'll lose in a bidding war. And they're just refusing to work with those people. Maybe not refusing, but giving them less attention than they deserve.
Than listings.
Because that's what's hot right now, right? It's a seller's market. So the agents that have been giving the respect to those buyers and have like an inventory of 50 or 60 buyers, they're going to win and I know you probably have a bunch of buyers right now.
But it's funny because to me, a buyer is a future listing. To me, a client, and maybe it's because I'm new, also from the restaurant industry, guests are your life in restaurants. I mean, they're your heartbeat. Without them, you're absolutely nothing. So I really transferred that into real estate. Like, I think sometimes my clients might be like, I might care too much, but like I truly care. Like I get red in the face if we're, excited or waiting on an offer to come back. And the buyer side I think it's really exciting right now. And yes, it's disappointing and you have to kind of be there to, comfort your buyers. But if you're, educating them on the market, there shouldn't be too much disappointment. Yeah. If they really, every scenario, this could happen, this could happen, this can happen. So when it doesn't, if it does, let's not, crash and cry about it.
No, definitely. Cool. Well, listen, I'm always learning whenever I'm chatting with you.
Oh,
I know we've got a coach and student, but it's turned into a colleague relationship because when we talk, I learn and I absolutely love it. I'm sure the agents that listen to this interview will have learned a lot also. I know you've got an offer to go submit, so
I do.
Let's wrap up this podcast. Would you come back on the podcast in 6 months and give us an update?
I'd love to. Let's see where I'm at.
Let's do that. Right on. Thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you.